There was a time when her face could light up an entire theater, a golden-haired goddess who defined the beauty, mystery, and allure of the 1960s. But now, at 85, the life of Julie Christie looks nothing like the glittering world she once ruled. What happened to the woman who had Hollywood at her feet? Julie Christie wasn't just a movie star, she was a phenomenon. Born in India and raised in rural Wales, she captured the world's imagination with her ethereal charm, intelligence, and that unmistakable sparkle in her eyes. In the mid-1960s, she was everywhere. Her performance in Darling 1965 won her an Academy Award and transformed her into the symbol of swinging London. With Dr. Zhivago, Far from the Madding Crowd, and Don't Look Now, she became both a cinematic legend and a timeless beauty. Men adored her. Women wanted to be her. And critics hailed her as one of the most talented actresses of her generation. But behind that radiant smile, Julie Christie was different from the Hollywood stars of her era. While others chased fame and fortune, she ran from it. She famously turned down roles that could have made her even bigger. They shoot horses, don't they? The French Lieutenant's Woman and Reds, simply because she hated the artificiality of the film industry. To her, celebrity life was a trap, a cage gilded with lights and lies. By the late 1970s, she quietly vanished from the spotlight. As her peers aged under the scrutiny of the public eye, Julie withdrew to the English countryside, choosing solitude over stardom. She lived on a small farm in Wales and later in rural Scotland, surrounded by nature, animals, and the simple joys of life. No red carpets, no interviews, no paparazzi, just peace. It was a life far removed from the glamour of Hollywood. But it was the life she had always wanted. Her love story with journalist Duncan Campbell became another quiet chapter of her retreat from fame. The two shared a deep bond for decades before marrying privately in 2008. Friends describe her as fiercely independent, politically active, and deeply compassionate. She became involved in humanitarian and environmental causes, standing up for what she believed in, even when it meant staying far away from the cameras that once adored her. Yet, as the years passed, the world began to forget her. Younger generations might not recognize her name, but those who grew up watching her remember that haunting beauty, those piercing eyes, and that unforgettable voice. Today, at 85, Julie Christie lives a life of seclusion, far removed from the glamour that once defined her. She has aged gracefully, though time, as always, has left its marks. Photos of her are rare, but those who've seen her say she still carries that same quiet elegance, the kind that no amount of fame could buy. It's a little heartbreaking to think that someone who once defined an era now lives almost entirely out of the public eye. But maybe that's exactly what she wanted: freedom from the fame that consumed so many of her peers. Julie Christie's story isn't one of tragedy, but of choice. She walked away not because she was forgotten, but because she chose to live life on her own terms still. For those who remember her, the woman who brought Lara Antipova, Diana Scott, and Bathsheba Everdeen to life, her legacy is untouchable. The sadness lies not in how she lives now, but in how time quietly erases even the brightest stars. Julie Christie may have disappeared from the limelight, but in the hearts of those who loved her work, she remains forever golden.